going, guys, they have Rico Dowdle. No offense, he's their leading rusher right now. Rico, he's run for 134 yards in 4 games. They need a bona fide runner. Where's Dalvin Cook? They went out and made a splash with a splash player. He's on practice squad still. So I think if Davante actually goes to the Cowboys, it's going to be more of a distraction.
Let me ask y'all this, though. Y'all are all businessmen here, all former athletes, but the show y'all are watching doesn't just have NFL experience, 39 years, has businessmen on this desk. Shady, you know, before you make any business decision, you got to run a cost-benefit analysis. What's it going to cost me? And what's the benefit? My dog 25 does a ton in real estate. If you are not aware, check out his social media pages. He is crushing it in real estate, okay? If you call him, he won't pick up. So, but you run a cost-benefit analysis. I do hear y'all on the cost. You were exactly right. There's a cost to CeeDee Lamb. There is a cost to the distraction. But I believe that the benefit is so much greater than the cost. What I mean is, there's so much more to the 2 high safeties that we're not talking about. Defenses, if they go out there, if you're in a pregame meeting during the course of the week, all right, y'all, Cowboys got CeeDee Lamb. Hey, Cowboys got Davante Adams. So what we're doing out here, hey, cover 4 is going to be our base package this week. We're going to keep both safeties high. Hey, make sure, hey, we're not helping the linebacker. You got Jake Ferguson, the Cowboys tight end, on your own, Acho. Hey, safety, you got to go out there. You got to get CeeDee. Other safety, you got to go out there. You got to go get Davante. We're going to have to win with the 6 in the box. So our 6 are going to have to win. That allows Rico Dowdle and his limited ability, because that's what we see thus far, is limited ability to now go out there and win, as opposed to trying to beat 7 in the box. Because as it stands right now, the Cowboys don't have a legitimate number 2 receiving threat. Brandon Cooks is hurt. Jake Ferguson is ascending, but he hasn't yet arrived. So, no doubt, he's ascending. But even from a schematic standpoint, if you got CeeDee and you got Davante out there, as a defense, I have to play a lighter box. Cowboys got a better chance.
Great point. Okay, that's a great point in a micro. The macro here, you talk about cost. Me and Shady told you what the cost was. Okay, you said the benefit was that. Look at it from a macro benefit. The only benefit of this entire trade for the Dallas Cowboys is if they win a Super Bowl. That is why you go out and you make this trade. I do not think right now, with or without Davante Adams, he's not the difference maker for them to win a Super Bowl. There's too many holes. So why are you going to give up picks? Why are you going to give up more? Why are you going to cause a fraction in the receiver room if you're not going to win a Super Bowl with Davante Adams? So for me, it's a mistake if they go in, because it causes those distractions. So I don't think he makes them a Super Bowl contender.
So you're not going to try to act like you want to. No, really quick. Let me go.
Try on the running game. Try on the defensive.
Who out there though?
That part.
That's all I'm saying. This is a superstar player that's out there that can help your team be better. Right now, when they walk into the building and the depth chart is up there and these coaches in these coaches meetings and they like, this is our offensive team. There ain't nobody out there but CeeDee Lamb. You're not going to the playoffs. You're not even going to be able to punch your ticket. At least signing Davante Adams gives you a chance to get into the dance. Right now, offensively, they have no playmakers but one. That's all they have. So if you have a superstar player over there that's sitting out there that you can possibly get, that's walking into the building, that's been in this offensive system for 7 years, that's walking in there that can play at a high level, like I don't understand why you wouldn't do that.
I just don't think it's that easy. For example, like you talk about Mike, knowing Coach Mike and all that, and let's say that CeeDee Lamb is doing a certain route every week. This is my route. I get busy on this route, right? And then Mike McCarthy knows Davante best, right? He comes to the Cowboys, and now, in his mind, he's like, yo, we love how CeeDee Lamb does this route, but dog, wait till you see Davante do this route. Hold on. So since he's been a Cowboy, he's been doing this route, right? And we put Davante in. Now, as a player, they take me out of this scheme, and they put Davante in that slot. You know what I'm saying?
That doesn't matter.
Because it's easy to just talk about it. But to be in that situation, now I think CeeDee Lamb will still be the number 1 dude.
No doubt.
But when Davante start making plays and they see 17 doing this, doing that, now the fans is involved. Yo, now the team is like, yo, man, we got to split it now. And as a player, you don't want to go through that. And you the main dude. And Davante might be there for what? 1 or 2 years, because that's the contract and all that, because he's going to play well. He's going to get a bigger contract. He might not stay with Dallas. Whereas CeeDee Lamb's going to be there. And we're not talking about the conversations when the best player on the offense, the CeeDee Lamb, goes home and is like, yo, man, I don't know what they doing now. That's a real thing that nobody wants to talk about.
I just know playing in Coach Mike offense, everybody eats.
But not with that quarterback. Remember, Brandon Cooks is a 1,000-yard receiver for 6 different teams.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 different
With
teams.
any quarterback, too.
With any quarterback. Shows up, and with Dak Prescott, he doesn't get his 1,000. CeeDee Lamb had 184 targets last year. I'm doing it off the top of my head, so I may be wrong. I think that led the National Football League.
It definitely
Andy.
led.
184 targets. You're not getting 184 targets with DA out there.
He
had the most targets in the last, 5 years.
That's a really
Something
good
crazy.
point, but Davante is different than Brandon Cooks. And what I mean is Davante is instant separation. That's why Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott was so good together, because Amari Cooper was like that running routes. So it's different. I agree. He hasn't made Brandon Cooks better, but Davante will make him better by the way he runs routes.
Can I ask you one question real quick, James? I think it would be a good move for the Cowboys, because who don't want Davante Adams?
100%.
My thing is, there's so many other teams that, because Archer brought all these different trades that teams did to go to championships, right? But the only thing is, they're not Davante Adams.
Yeah.
Why not go somewhere like Buffalo, where you all these young guys looking up to you? You're going to be the number one receiver as soon as you step into Buffalo. Not even in the stadium, just the Buffalo, right? And we're going to put our offense around you and let the young guys follow you.
Yeah.
Got a really good running game, a cool defense, a really good coach. That's where I see him going as a place. Even like the Jets. I think Garrett Wilson could learn from Davante. going to the Cowboys, man, it's like...
No, I understand from Davante's point of view where he should want to go, but should the Cowboys be all in them? Listen, Cowboys, y'all have no playmakers. Why not add a big-time playmaker?
Yeah, that's without shadow of a doubt. Speaking of 2 big-time playmakers, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, they huge news. Davante Adams, Vegas receiver, he wants out. He wants to be traded, according to the Raiders. Antonio Pierce said, we will trade you. There's no bigger story in sports than the one we're about to discuss. No bigger name in sports than the Cowboys. That's one of the teams Davante Adams wants to go to. But get this, the Cowboys got no interest in him. Y'all got to make that make sense. Again, turn up your volumes, relax into your chair. We appreciate you being here. A jam-packed show. James Jones, you know a lot about Davante Adams. Chase Daniel, you played quarterback, so you know a lot about great receivers. But Shady McCoy, you know a lot about the Cowboys. So I'm starting with you. Okay. Are the Cowboys making a huge mistake not going all in on Davante Adams?
I don't think so. People only think about just, the stats and the players' names, but it's all about gelling. It's all about having that bond and chemistry as a player. I look at, different teams I played on. I played with some really, really good players, especially wide receivers. And I just can imagine, if you have 2 top 5 receivers, what would that look like, right? Because everybody's not cool with taking the back seat, taking the second role.
Yeah.
And right now, Davante Adams is still, in my opinion, an elite receiver and a top-tier guy. And then they got CeeDee Lamb, who exactly is that.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, where it's a gimme down, a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, we throwing it. Who's the ball go to?
Yep.
They playing man. They both play playing man. Who are you going to go to? And that may cause some friction in the locker room, because Dak has a super great relationship with CeeDee Lamb, right? I know CeeDee will talk to him, and they love each other, right? But then you got this super talented wide receiver that's a little older, that's still a beast. And Davante Adams, do you go to him? And as a quarterback, you know that best. There's always that type of friction. Yep. I play with guys like Jeremy Maclin and Deshaun Jackson. Now, they were different tiers of players, right? But they're really, really good.
Good compliment.
And there were times where we had gimme downs, and we know who the ball's going to. It's going to Deshaun Jackson. And there's times when Maclin would get them passes, and DJ wouldn't be mad, but he'd be like, all right, now, hey, good job, Mac. hey, Mike, hey, Vic, hey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that, every situation is different. So I don't think it's a bad move that they're not, proceeding to go out there and get him. But another thing is, on defense, y'all got so many other issues to worry about than just the offense. Yeah. Teams is running for 200-plus yards on your defense. So before we go to the offense, let's get the defense solid first.
I mean, you hit it right on.
Yeah, it's that type of morning, dog. I got the ego on my chest.
Props, bro, because I think it would be a mistake if they actually signed him. I don't think that Davante Adams fixes the Dallas Cowboys' problems. In fact, what Shady was saying, it might make it worse from a quarterback perspective when you're having to. I know Brandon Cooks is out, but Brandon Cooks needs his targets. CeeDee Lamb making $34 million a year. He needs his targets. Davante's going to get targets and to get a win. Okay, there's 2 glaring holes. First, run game. The Cowboys have 0. When I say 0 run game, okay, they have none. Right now they're rushing for 75 yards a game. Wow. If that ended up at the end of their season, you see right here, 75.3 yards a game, it would be the fewest in a season in Cowboys history. In the history of the biggest brand in football, if they ended today, it would be the fewest rush yards per game they would ever have in a season. And we're talking about adding another star receiver. And then you go over to the defensive line. Micah Parsons out for a while. DeMarcus Lawrence out for a while. They're soft in the pants a little bit, like you were saying. They're getting drove back. Okay, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense to me to have a receiver added to the Cowboys when there's much bigger holes.